while. I know, the last thing people care about right now is fashion. I mean, people are dying. They don't care if they're cute if they're coughing up blood. Oops, too dark? And maybe it would have gone by now if Trump wasn't so in love with it. So now that this is our life, I thought it may as well feel good. And if not feel good, then look good. This week's video is gonna be good. Just kicking it, making aesthetic looking masks. Let's do it. My name is Kyoko. Thank you for clicking on this video. I've got 5 ways to upscale your masks and of course look cute during COVID-19. If this all ends badly, it won't. But if it did, and years and years from now aliens uncover our bodies, at least we're looking trendy. I'm going to be using some of my leftover fabric from my thrift flip. Ooh, what do you know? There it is if you want to watch it. And if you don't just have random fabric lying around, you can always get something under $10 at Goodwill and do the environment some good. I mean, look at how cute this fabric is. It was scrubs and soon it's gonna be a mask. Like that, I mean, it's probably already been done in a TikTok video, but anyway. We have 5 masks, boring and very simple one that everyone kind of already has. And it's also pretty good because you can turn it inside out and now you've got 2 designs, which we are going to embroider. This mask, I realize, is currently a pillow. Will be tie-dyed with some natural kitchen wastes and a little bit good for the environment. Some leftover fabric matching with a headscarf and scrunchie. Some leftover lace, which I will also add some beads to. And for the last one, we will do a patchwork, which is pretty much like a quilt on your face. Like just a bunch of tiny little fabrics shoved together and slapped on your face. Like the blankets your grandma used to make you look cute. And I will be using a sewing machine, but you can hand stitch as well. Let's rock and roll. Number 1, embroidery. First up, I got a kit. I did not just slip over. I did get this one from Amazon maybe 3-4 months ago, but I really wouldn't recommend buying it from there. Michael's is a better alternative. Etsy.
Shit, you feel?
I'm filming. I'll link below a bunch of websites that have really amazing kits. I'm not gonna get into why because I could literally go on. Jeff Bezos is about to become the first trillionaire in the world. $1 trillion is too much for a person. Not even 1% of his wealth could save the Great Barrier Reef. He could end homelessness within America. He could end world poverty and hunger. Anyway, I said I wasn't going there, but I happened to go there. I will leave you a fun little paragraph down below if you're crazy curious. I don't have a pencil, but I need a pencil. I've chosen something really simple. Green flowers. I got inspired by Giacomo's classic. And I'm just gonna grab this hoop, this one, and gently sketch out the flowers. Lock the mask in, then with the needle and the thread through it, not at the end, evenly sew over it. I'm literally doing the most basic stitch, the back stitch. There were many mask ideas and options. Pinterest is just filled with them, so you can really go crazy and make your masks absolutely beautiful. From flowers to political pubs, anime. So cute! This actually will take a while, so we're gonna move on to the next one. Number 2, natural dye. We are going to measure on our face, just so it hits the bone below your temple. So yeah, like your cheekbones. Measure from your cheekbones to the edge of your jaw. Then we will measure that out with a ruler, 2 pieces, leaving an inch extra on the top and bottom for the hemming. Sandwich the 2 together and pin, sewing a line across the top and bottom and one side, leaving one so that we can turn it inside out. Yeah. Now we need to grab the leftover fabric and make just one long piece of ribbon. Okay. To get the clean edges, I fold it in half, sewing the seam across the end, then turning it inside out. This process does take a little while. You get the picture. Next, you're going to lay out the ribbon like this, folding the sides over and pinning it in. We do want to give it a little room so we can pull the ribbon up or down, and so, voila. Dyeing time. After drenching the fabric in white vinegar, depending on your color preference, the ingredients will be different. I'm going to be using turmeric, onion skins, old tea bags, and some flowers I found just lying on the ground. I'm going to lay it out, sprinkle all the ingredients over the fabric, rolling it up tightly with rubber bands to keep it all in, then chuck it into the steamer for 1 to 2 hours. Then we unwrap it, give it a quick rinse, and leave it outside to dry up. And next, magic. matching sets with some elastics. Very mature. For the bandana, this part is really easy. If you're wondering, a good bandana length is normally around 17.5 inches. There you go. After measuring and cutting that out, next we just hem the sides down a little so we can stop the fraying. I found it helps if you iron down the pinned edges first before sewing over the hem. Voila! Part 1 is done. Now the scrunchie. So next part of this video is super easy, guys, but the lesson here is the bigger the better. The scrunchies. And by better and bigger, I mean trendier. So we're going to need a strip of fabric. I'll be doing 21 by 9, and after you've cut it out, grab your elastic or hair tie, wrapping the fabric around it, then folding the fabric over in half. So it sort of looks like a donut. Sort of. Make sure it's inside out before sewing along the edges. And then turn it back inside out, sew along this line, pow. And finally, the actual mask. Measure from your cheekbones to cheekbones, your nose to one's chin. And yes, I know I look like a goose. Measure it out over your fabric, leaving an inch. Perfect. Cut out 2 pieces, one for outside, one for inside. I'll be using some more pillow fabric. Sew together along the top and the bottom of the 2 fabrics, making sure it's inside out. Once you're done, flip it back out. So now we have to adjust the shape so it fits better on our face, creating 3 creases along both sides. After we've pinned those in, attach the elastics to top and bottom and let them awkwardly dangle there so that we can measure them on our face. Figure out how long I need these bitty bitties, so I can drag it around. I want them to sit like nicely over the ears. Back to the sewing desk. Corny, I know. Where we're just about done and... oof. Cliffhanger. You're just gonna have to wait till BAM! So we have some lace for this, but now... bruh. So I left it here so I wouldn't forget. Obviously, it's a bit big for my ankle. I'm gonna do some nifty flip where I take the beads and use them for my mask. Ah! There you go. I'm using the leftover pillow, making the same double rectangles slightly larger for the hem, sewing both ends, turning it inside out, and next we are making one long string about 22 centimeters long. We're gonna cut it pretty thin, but enough for a hem. Tuck both ends in, sewing over the edges. Because I'm trying to shake up every mask with a different tying situation, this one is a little more complex. We're going to lay the ties down, folding the mask around it just loosely enough so the strings can still adjust. Then at the end of both strings, we're going to fold a little loop fairly snug. Sew it together. And now the beads part. This part isn't too hard. You're just going to need a needle, thread it through the fabric, add a bead, push it through the other end. Then make sure when you thread it back through, you leave quite a little bit of fabric to give it the more ruffled effect. And then, ha! Okay, last one, I swear. I will stop with the not so fun dramatic suspense. Last one. Here is my inspo pick. I'm using this mask shape as a base with these tiny cut up pieces of fabric, pin them together, crappy side facing you, sew them together, cut out the shape, remembering, extra for the hem. Choose some fabric for the inside. I'm using my pillow again and sew the 2 together inside out, then sew those 2 together through the middle, which is round, that's important. And oh damn, we're gonna make some cute patchwork strings too. About 14 inches long times 4. Same method as before, fold the sides inside, sew over them, sew those cute little itty bitties onto the mask, top and bottom, bam! Here we are, the end of the suspense. Cue montage. Oh wait, I actually climbed up 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 flights of stairs just because no good reason. I wanted to do it in a beautiful area with some beautiful masks. Yeah, I had a point. You should maybe subscribe to my channel. And if you like this video, you should like this video. If you didn't like this video, don't like this video. And if you really, really liked this DIY, comment down below which one was your favorite, if you had any questions. If we're being real here, I'm about to go climb those 6 flights of stairs, so hang tight.
this is how the embroidery turned out. It definitely did up my mask game and goes so well with all the pastels I'm wearing and my blue hat. The natural dye one is actually my favorite. The design is so cute and easy and looks great with everything in my closet. The dye is soft enough that it isn't too loud. It is also extremely comfortable. The matching set, honestly, I hope we were all here for it because it looks so good all together. Okay, the beaded one is definitely a classic, and I will also be linking down below the actual brands that make these looks if you didn't want to do DIY. As well, check it. This patchwork one, yes, I'm definitely seeing a lot of patchwork designs coming out that I love in the fashion world. So keep in touch because I will be posting some more DIYs and some fashion styling tips every Friday at 9 AM. I'm also putting together a bit of a content calendar, so let me know down below what other videos you would like to see and if you need styling tips, etc. And I will get back to you. Thank you guys for watching, and mwah.